We want to bring in now Yaakov Lappin, who is the military correspondent for the Jewish National Syndicate, currently stuck in London, but very much connected to what's happening in his home country of Israel. Yaakov, it's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us again today. And we are hearing that Israeli planes are now dropping pamphlets warning Gazans to flee. Do you believe a ground invasion is imminent? And do we have any indication of the timing?
I think a ground offensive is definitely inevitable. I don't know exactly when it will be launched, but it will clearly be launched in the near-term future because the Israeli defense establishment will want to continue the momentum and not freeze, where all kinds of other developments could happen that could get in the way of this forming offensive. So there's no doubt in my mind that it's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. I think at the staging areas near the Gaza Strip, the Israeli military, its commanders, are on the ground receiving intelligence about their intended targets and doing all the things that ground units can do that the Air Force cannot.
I want to talk about yesterday you wrote about how Hezbollah is testing the waters north of Israel now. And this is concerning to many people. Hezbollah and Hamas have said to have similar ideologies. How likely do you see them joining the war and the reporting that you're doing?
So the question of Hezbollah joining is open. I think that it has to be under a question mark, not an exclamation mark, because really nobody knows. The decision, in my opinion, will be made in Beirut by Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, and he's going to weigh up how the situation unfolds and make his decision accordingly. We've already seen in the past 3 days Hezbollah do the minimum that it felt that it needs to do in order for after this war, when Hamas turns around, whatever's left of it, and says, "What did you do for me?" Hezbollah will be able to point at drones that it sent over, the mortars that it fired, the anti-tank missiles that it fired. But this is the bare minimum. So we have to be very, very careful about this scenario. It's clear that the Israeli military is preparing for that option. The sheer number of reservists that have been called up, they're not all for the Gazan arena, in my opinion. Israel is making sure that it's prepared for that scenario. And beyond signaling solidarity with its fellow terrorist army, which is what Hezbollah is doing here for Hamas, the question of where things go forward is extremely dynamic and unpredictable.
We spoke with an Israeli journalist on the ground yesterday who said hearing President Biden's speech about Israel and his unwavering support from the U.S. for Israel was like oxygen for her yesterday. Do you feel, as an Israeli and as a journalist and as someone who's closely connected to this crisis, that Israel is getting the support it needs?
I think the American support for the state of Israel has been critical, exemplary, just really I think oxygen is a wonderful description. The solidarity, not only in word, but also in deed. The dispatching of a U.S. Aircraft carrier strike group sending a clear message of deterrence to Hezbollah and to Iran. The sending of armaments. So this combination of word and deed and making clear that the U.S. Has Israel's back is extremely important because Israel right now is going through the darkest period in its history. As are the Jewish people at large globally. So this will never be forgotten, America's assistance, and it's being received with really just endless gratitude, I think, in the state of Israel.
Well, Yaakov, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate you being with us this morning. Stay with
Thank you.
KCAL News and KCAL News.